지금부터 2016 ITF 월드 투어 코리아 오픈 남자 결승 경기를 시작하겠습니다.
We will now begin the match sequence, final match.
Annyeonghaseyo and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2016 ITTF World Tour Korea Open, a super series on the World Tour. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobro. We are getting into the men's singles final. And there he is, Ma Long, the dictator, the dragon, the man on top of the world. The most unbeaten player on the planet in the last 2 years. But the last person to beat him is the person he will be facing now in the men's singles final. Ma Long, incredibly agile, versatile, as fast and strong as they come. And again, in top form out here today. Has been challenged a bit along the way. I'll tell you more about that after he's walked out. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. What an honor. I'm sure many table tennis fans, even taller than Ma Long, would pay to have that opportunity. And there is the Cloud Walker, Xu Xin. Cloud Walker, crowd pleaser, crouching tiger, hidden forehand. It's Xu Xin, world rank number 3, the 3rd seed in the tournament, the 3rd in the race to Doha for the World Tour Grand Finals, and in 26 years old. He's in top form, 1 year younger than Ma Long. We'll see, last week he beat Ma Long in Japan in the semi-final, and then played the final against Fan Zhendong, who he knocked out in the semi-final here today. A spectacular match if you're just tuning in now. Oh, Xu Xin going for the side picture there.
From Korea.
And the umpire here, our head umpire from Korea, Jang Sun-hong. Assistant umpire, Lee Dae-woo from Korea. So here's a little look at how the players got here. But of course, because I have the information in front of me, I'll take you back to the start. Ma Long in the very beginning beat Jang Woo-jin, the junior world champion and an up-and-coming player in Korea, 4-0, an exciting match. Jang Woo-jin's always excellent to watch play. Next, it was Jung Young-shik, 4-1 for Ma Long. Now, Ma Long doesn't normally drop a game in the main draw, but as the dramatic music comes in, I'll tell you about dropping games. One of the most dramatic matches we saw in this tournament, and arguably the most spectacular, France's Tristan Flor, 21-year-old, taking Ma Long to a 7th and deciding game, finishing that game with a beautiful exhibition point. First try circling the table completely legally inside the scorekeeper's booth, and then giving it up. Tristan Flor also, wouldn't be surprised to see him contending or nominated for the sportsmanship, the Fair Play Award at the ITTF Star Awards later this year, acknowledging 2 balls that hit his shirt and an edge ball, many of which might have gone unnoticed. Ma Long continued after that to beat Chen Qianan from Chinese Taipei, who was responsible for the upset against 2 strong players, Zhang Jike and then Zhuang Zhiyuan, his teammate. And that's how Ma Long got here to the final. But instead of playing Zhang Jike beating Chen Qianan, on the other side, now we've got Xu Xin, who started off, who's the 3rd seed in this tournament, as I told you, destined to face Fan Zhendong if there are no upsets along the way. In the first round, he beat Kenta Tazoe from Japan, the young player. Took 2 games off Xu Xin, but still Xu Xin moves on to play another left-handed pen holder, one of the few left-handed J-pen players, much like Xu Xin's coach. And it was Matsumoto, Kazuo Matsumoto from Brazil, who had an outstanding tournament, taking down 2 major players above him, Andre Gachina and Koki Niwa along the way. Xu Xin winning that 4-1, and then a 4-1 victory over Wang Chunting. And as the German hard rock comes in, it was Fan Zhendong to play 7 games against Xu Xin in an exciting, thrilling 11-9 in the 7th victory for Xu Xin. So now here they are, former number 1 in the world and number 1 in the world. Xu Xin, the pen hold game, the top pen holder in the world, showing that his backhand gained consistency as the match went on against Fan Zhendong around game 4. Really started to make the versatile backhands from the quick off-the-bounce counters with the backhand to the softer spinny shots. Now head-to-head, Ma Long and Xu Xin have played 22 times, and 16 of those have gone to Ma Long. As a matter of fact, it's 23 because it wasn't added in last week's victory for Xu Xin. So 23 times, and Xu Xin has taken 7 of them. Still, Ma Long overwhelmingly the favorite on the World Tour. When it comes to team trials and other things, the results have been shaken up quite a bit. Xu Xin very unpredictable. Talked earlier about how Zhang Jiko's a mysterious player, tough to know what he's thinking. Xu Xin, we have some ideas. As a fellow showman, I can definitely relate to Xu Xin and his desire to play creatively. But as an opponent out there, Ma Long is going to be tough to predict when Xu Xin's going to go down the line, where his flips are going to go. A very risky over-the-table game, leaping flip kills. I'm sure we'll get all sorts of action like that out here. Some amazing counter loop rallies. Xu Xin off the table, both players. We'll see. It's a best-of-7 men's singles final. So first player to win 4 games. And Xu Xin's going to start off with the serve. Ma Long's going to start off by tying his right shoe and see if he can take revenge after last week's loss to Xu Xin.
Xu Xin versus Ma Long, first game. Xu Xin to serve, love all.
So here we go. Xu Xin with the serve. Let the action begin. Looked like Ma Long was guessing it was coming to the backhand. Just a little bit out of reach. Oftentimes we'll see him get to that ball. Very difficult shot. Right near the edge of the table, stepped out way wide on the backhand. Clever receive from Ma Long. Oh, going big from back off the table. Reverse penhold backhand early in the match has been a bit inconsistent, and of course from that far off the table is going to be less dependable for Xu Xin. Rare to see Xu Xin that fooled on a serve. Not sure if it caught something like his hand. See if we can see this receive again. Usually when I say that it comes up, but we'll see. Xu Xin definitely does not want to see that happen again. Down 1-3 now, in control with the serves. Quick decision. Ma Long covering the middle and Xu Xin freezing up to take the shot from the middle of the table. He's used to breaking wide. Look at this. Really has to reach there instead of stepping back around more in the backhand corner. That's the rocket backhand that worked so well against Fan Zhendong earlier today. And right there for the quick towel wipe off. Surprise flip from Ma Long. From out of position, Xu Xin's only recovery there was a deep push. And he keeps it very deep in the backhand corner on the table, putting some pressure on Ma Long to make a big shot to avoid the counter attack from Xu Xin if he puts it on. Now between these two players, the service errors, we've seen many, but most of them are with Xu Xin. He had 6 service errors recently against Fan Zhendong in the first 5 games of a match. So much side spin on that hooking loop. And again with the penhold grip, not fighting gravity, the racket hanging down. Xu Xin taking it a little bit later on the run, which is what changes up the spin so much. Now, thinking about how rarely we see Ma Long make a service error, I think it could have something to do with pressure, with confidence. It's just one, it happens to everybody. But even in that last receive, in the body language of Ma Long right now.
4-7.
Chop block a little bit short. It's a great example of how to get the ball right off the bounce on the receive. And between last week and just sort of the body language of Ma Long right now, I think this match is a little bit less predictable than it usually would be. Really feels like anybody's match right now. Wow! From cloud to cloud again, Xu Xin running it down. This ball blocked right off the body of Ma Long, bending away. Look how far Xu Xin is from this ball. And still on the run, hooking it back into Ma Long, who's trying to play the short side. Wider and wider, Xu Xin from deep in the backhand court. Incredible shots. We talk about Ma Long's agility, but right now the more agile of the two seems to be Xu Xin. Leg strength, flexibility on the wrist, unpredictability of every ball. Xu Xin hooks it both directions, out wider to the forehand and into the body. 4-point lead for Xu Xin on the receive at the top of the screen.
6-9.
Heavy underspin serve, difficult touch shot. Two in a row for Ma Long. See what Xu Xin brings out here for serves. Oh, short side of the table, way in near the net. Xu Xin really having to run around far to get to this ball. Look how quickly he comes in here. Half long, light top spin, and a fast shot to a very, very small part of the table. 3 game points for Xu Xin. Incredible point! And a full 360 spin. We've got to see that one again. Ball comes off the table just barely. Xu Xin taking it from below the table, spinning it low to the net, and Ma Long with a chop block coming up high. Inside out finisher from Xu Xin. Enjoy the highlights. Game 1, Xu Xin 11-7. We'll be back for game 2 just after this. As the players come back to the table for game 2, Xu Xin leading 1-0 to keep up his performance from last week. In top form right now, changing up his forehand location. Both sides of the table, fair game for Xu Xin. Digging deep for the opening backhand. Even though Ma Long was the most dominant player on the planet before 2015, the confidence that he had throughout 2015 doesn't seem to be here right now. Xu Xin keeping it low with the spinny ball to the short side of the table. It's tough to have confidence when your opponent's beating you and you're missing some shots you're used to making. Yeah, he's just not comfortable right now. The Ma Long we saw throughout 2015 and the start of this year would take one more step to the backhand and play that inside out with the forehand. Full on attack. Oh, goes for the snake. The snake doesn't contact the ball just right. So much wiggle from under the table. See this one more time. Fishing game. Rare to see a drop shot. But even more rare to see the snake. Short side of the table, a little bit bolder. Still not as fast in his step. There's some hesitation from Ma Long. He looks a little hesitant. Although that was some pretty big confidence there to take it to the short side. That ball goes down. Ma Long's point. Ooh, they gave it to Xu Xin. He was outside the table when he hit it. Looks like Xu Xin said, let's watch that on the replay. They're going to look at the screen. I don't know if this is formally introduced to the game. Replay not coming up. Xu Xin looking for one. Here it is. No question, side of the table, it looks like from there. Correction made, 3-all. Well, that's pretty cool. The sport's been progressing in many ways with the fact that that was just done. Very nice touch. No question in the players' minds about that last point. Fooled on the flip. Catches Xu Xin standing up in the backhand corner. Ma Long starting to gain some confidence, play with a little bit more creativity and initiative here. Bold receive. How on earth does he hit that ball? Ma Long spins it so spinny, low to the net, out wide to the forehand. Xu Xin breaking back. Watch this again. Deep on the table, like a hurricane, coming around the side and the top of the ball. Now, one player's soft confidence is another player's confidence, and Xu Xin looking more confident than we've seen, taking some of these forehands. Just seems like nobody can stop him when he's going for this. Once again, Fife, inside out forehand. And the variation on Xu Xin's forehand shots right now, even at the point of contact, it's tough to tell how wide that ball's going. Xu Xin making it very uncomfortable for Ma Long to counter, let alone block. I guess that'd be said the other way around. Uncomfortable to block, let alone counter. Little break off the top of the net for Xu Xin to start. And the way Ma Long is sweating right now, you can see it in his face. Just really troubling right here. Feels the danger of Xu Xin. Almost looks defeated already early on in the match.
5-7.
Could have broke open the piñata here for Xu Xin. An 8-4 lead in game two. Just a little bit too low to the net from below the table. Again, that fine balance. If he spins it up over the net, say 3 inches over the net, Ma Long's going to destroy it to the other side of the table. Just a reminder, points before that was a few points ago, the one that went down.
5-7.
Ma Long's like, yep, that's the side of the table. Really quick footwork. While Xu Xin is known to be able to run anything down, right now he's keeping his balance close to the table quite well. Look how quickly he's back and centered. Just missing in the fishing game. Chop block to set it up. And as good as Xu Xin is from off the table, again, he's going to have a losing record against Ma Long in these points when he backs off. A little bit rushed on the backhand. 1 point game here. Low touch shot from Ma Long deters the third ball flip from Xu Xin, and we're tied up 4 points in a row. Not quite. It was 3 in a row to get back. Anyway, it was 7-4 for Xu Xin, and now it's tied up at 8-all. We are where we are. And a tough lead to lose for Xu Xin. You can see some disappointment out here. Not sure if it's regret of shot selection or simply that he's let go of the lead. There's that hooking low spinny forehand from Xu Xin once again to take back the lead. See it one more time here. See how low he takes the ball. Ball just sort of glides across the table. Clever idea, spinny ball to the backhand, goes just long. Third towel break of the game. Xu Xin's gonna have the last 2 serves this game we'll see in combination. Oh my goodness, Xu Xin! Simply outstanding, out of this world performance. So many shots in that rally. We've got our hands in the air, hands on our head, jaw-dropping performance. Xu Xin running down everything. Fooled both feet in the air for that shot. Look at this counter right into the body. And he really had to grunt to load it with spin. Wow. Hearts pounding, smiles all over the arena, and it's game point for Xu Xin. He's gonna have to stretch out that shoulder for sure. Spinny backhand countered. Ma Long saving game point to send it to deuce here in game 2. It's only game 2, but it feels like game 7 for many of us. Again, the stadium here pretty packed. Standing room all around me. I'm not that close to the court. People standing all around, cameras out, sitting in the fire escapes here on the stairs. That is just too good. The side swipe inside out from Xu Xin again. Where's he gonna go? Even Ma Long saying, man, what are you gonna do? It's a great shot. Well, Ma Long can't say amazing shot to his buddy right now. Look at that ball. So game point back to Xu Xin. Second one this game. And the touch goes just wide. Xu Xin 12-10. Barely pulling it out. A 2-0 lead for world rank number 3, the Cloudwalker. And we'll be back for game 3 to see if Ma Long really turns things around or not right after this short break.
And
we're back for game 3. Xu Xin at the top of the screen, leading 2-0 over Ma Long, world ranked number 1, world champion of 2015. And the quality of shot from Ma Long looking a little better at the start of that rally. But once again, Xu Xin's kicking shot into the body, trouble for Ma Long. Strong start, but Xu Xin not able to continue the rally here. Just thinking through the last 2 days of this tournament, there have been enough highlight points to make a top 20 video that would counter, rival, and probably be better than some of the top 10 videos of the year. This is what you get on the Super Series of the World Tour. Best players in the world here, pushing each other. Not only for Xu Xin as an individual, but as a teammate to Ma Long. These players both have to give their absolute best out here. A whole good variety of facial expressions there. Expressions, as they say in English. Ma Long with the most encouraging lead we've seen so far. Rarely has his flip surprised Xu Xin. And a more comfortable Ma Long sees the serve coming off the table. While Xu Xin throughout this match has been blocking shots of that caliber before, he definitely doesn't want to have to face one on a receive. And it feels like there's been a confidence transfer out here. Xu Xin's missing shots he's been making the whole match so far. Ma Long's taking a few a little bit better.
Left, 6-1.
If you talk to many players, coaches, fans around the world, but especially the players and coaches who've been in the game for over 20 years. You can see how much the game has changed. With that beautiful flip in near the table, it's only the second point for Xu Xin this game. Thinking about how physical these players get, how much side spin is on the ball, some of these rallies.
Left, 2-7.
Even on that serve there, the ball clips the net, and you can see how it just turns 90 degrees off to the side of the table. Short side of the table, no problem now for Xu Xin. Sets up that third ball attack. Ma Long was up 7-1. Really has to stay focused here to hang on and take this game to pose a threat to Xu Xin. It's weird to hear myself say that about Ma Long posing a threat to somebody else. Not a flip kill, but enough pressure to force Xu Xin off the table. And because it was a little bit slower, it gave Xu Xin a responsibility. He couldn't really block it back, had to put some of his own forward motion on it. And that's as much forward motion as you're going to get out of a backhand from Xu Xin. Definitely up there for Xu Xin. The second towel break, he's trailing by 4. It was last game where Ma Long was down 4-7 and came back to 8-all.
4-8.
Seen Xu Xin in high-pressure situations for comebacks. One of the greatest comebacks of the last 5 years, I would say.
Left, 4-8.
Oh, 2 big ones from down low, but the sweeping leg does not land on the table. So amazing that Xu Xin can not only reach the ball that low from the ground, down at knee height, once again shin height, and that last one just left a little out in front. He tries to reach it while still keeping so much racket speed up. The miss hit, that was a big opportunity for Xu Xin near the table. 10-4 is the score that he came back from before. Somebody cut me a beat here. 6 game points for Ma Long. And only needs one of them, 11-4. The most dominant game yet is on the side of Ma Long. We'll total up some points for you and be back for game 4. Still a 2-1 lead for Xu Xin. Game 4 just after this. Back for game 4. Ma Long stirring it up here, putting his first game on the board. Still trailing 1-2 against Xu Xin at the bottom of the screen on the receive. Little fun fact, Xu Xin and Ma Long, the only 2 players of the Big 4 using Chinese rubber on their forehand and backhand.
1-0.
Smart play a little bit off the back edge of the table for sure, but the short side flip fools Ma Long. How much spin is on that serve? Definitely a break there. Softer spinny ball. Ma Long playing the short side as well, really loading it up. Just dips under the racket, almost crawling up the shorts of Xu Xin. The serve is there. It's the third ball that's trouble. Fast long serve into the backhand, and Xu Xin doesn't need to do as much to the ball to put some pace on it. Surprises Ma Long by putting it right back into the corner. Not this time. Almost. Took an extra second. Thought he had won the point. A little smile there for a moment from Xu Xin. See if we get to see that one again. And we do. Low spinny ball way wide. Ma Long reaching and blocking. With his back turned to the table, still almost gets it back. Again, that wrist flexibility is able to come around the ball so much. Completely fooled, still almost runs it down. 2 lunging steps. How far he has to go. Almost gets it from down below the table. Just finds the net. So Xu Xin now trailing 3-4 with his second serve. Other than his fast feet and creativity, the touch is what Xu Xin is known for, and he keeps it soft over the table. Ma Long starting the touch rally. But low and a little deep on the table when Ma Long goes for the flip. Sort of a half-long touch shot. This time, no problem. The flip kill cross court with pace and power. Watch how much time Xu Xin has to react to this shot. So fast. Again, the timing, the wrist strength. Whole lot of different muscles working together to create such powerful shots.
5-4.
The applause from the crowd just showing their appreciation for such an incredible match. Whoa! Steps all the way around for a reverse penhold backhand, a modern banana flick right down the middle of the table. It's the first time we've seen Ma Long slipping, losing his footing here. Quick decision. Fang Bo had that pulled on him about 3 times in his match against Fan Zhendong yesterday. If you didn't see that one live, make sure you go back and catch it on ittf.com/ITTV. Incredible match. Inside out forehand again, and Xu Xin misleads. Looks like he's going down the short side of the table. Ma Long preparing for it as well. But not leaving early. Ma Long watching very carefully before he makes his break to the side. Two high pressure shots for Xu Xin. The scores continue to even out. 6 points each. Big opener there, and Xu Xin trying to take it earlier to the short side. Ma Long just making sure his shoes have the traction he needs on the ground here.
6-0.
Oh man, Ma Long running it down, backing Xu Xin into the corner. Again, the quality of these shots, gonna see it right here. Covering the middle, inside out, one more from the backhand corner, and Ma Long covering complete opposite side. No chance, Xu Xin just looking at his opponent. What are you gonna do? And the receives just get stronger and stronger. As far as unforced errors go, I can't remember the last time I saw one out here. Both of these players earning the points and then some. Hitting shots that would win the point outright against most players in the world. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 times in a rally. And there's another one, but this time it finishes the point right on the inside of the line. The parallel shot from the forehand of Xu Xin. A little bit of indecision there from Ma Long on the receive, setting up the third ball, and it all comes down to the service placement. Low to the net, half long. Ma Long's gonna have to be a bit more decisive early on. Easier said than done against such quality serves. But that's an example, recognizes the serve's most likely coming off, gets set up and waits patiently as it comes off the back edge. See again where he takes this ball, oh, barely. That might have come off by about an inch or two. To the world outside of the US, I guess maybe 3, 4 centimeters. 4 or 5 centimeters. Tied up at 8 points each here, Ma Long with the serve. That's a difficult ball, low to the net. Ma Long making the most out of a difficult position. Gets it from below the net, about table height, keeps it deep on the table. Xu Xin looking like a statue out there. Oh, the open side to the forehand. Ma Long mixing it up. And as fast as Xu Xin is, no chance at that last ball. So much power. 2 game points for Ma Long to tie it up. Again, the athleticism here, the leg strength and core strength of Xu Xin making some of these shots. But this is a more aggressive and confident Ma Long. And by the way, when I said statue earlier, not because Xu Xin isn't moving. He's moving like crazy. But his pose from down near the ground, maybe Spider-Man on top of a building. Some superhero anyway. Xu Xin now serving against 2 game points. Strong backhand to save a game point. The power's there, and it's definitely getting into the head of Ma Long. Quick to get in for the touch. Ball comes long, and we've got a timeout here by Ma Long.
Timeout.
By the way, I just figured out which superhero it was. It's Iron Man. When he comes down to earth, when he lands, he looked like Xu Xin did. So right now, Ma Long's got his work cut out for him. He's got another game point here at 10-9. Between Xu Xin's backhand receive, the inside-out forehands going wide, the flip kill. There are just so many different weapons pointed at Ma Long's serve. We haven't seen too many fast, long serves from Ma Long. Although as tension builds and pressure builds, nerves tend to settle in, the body gets a little bit more tense, and it's tougher to play these controlled, high-risk serves. Again, this is the go bold scenario. Some of the music you heard earlier encouraging bold play. Xu Xin feels that he's ready. Ma Long has a full minute if he wants it. From a receive standpoint, Xu Xin has used that backhand to get in aggressively quite well. We know he's got the touch game to keep it short. I think only in the first game did we see so much trouble on a receive from Xu Xin. Popped up. So Ma Long with nobody in the corner but himself and his experience to talk to. He's back right now, but it's actually Xu Xin with his second serve here. Ma Long on the receive. Long push just misses the short side of the table. It's the strong backhand of Xu Xin. 10-all. I thought he said timeout. Thought, really? Look at this backhand again, a full turn there. And as he turns the corner, very fortunate for Xu Xin that the ball doesn't come back to the short side. So it's Xu Xin's deuce because he saved the game points, 2 of them. Oh, full commitment, comes all the way across, a little bit out of position, but goes for broke. We saw that in the men's doubles from Xu Xin and Zhang Jike. Look at this here. Ma Long can't keep it down. The placement, the spin, and deep on the table. The risky, bold play of Xu Xin for the 3rd point in a row pays off. Now he's got the serve and game point. Oh, a huge forehand into the backhand side of Ma Long, and Xu Xin takes the game against 2 game points, 4 in a row to save it, and it's a 3-1 lead. Xu Xin 1 game away from doing what seems to be the unthinkable around the world. We'll see if Ma Long can save it. Game 5, just after this short break. We are back for game 5. Xu Xin rubbing his shoulder there for a moment, but doesn't seem to be playing with any hesitation or pain right now at all. The 3rd time we've seen Ma Long back at the table going to the shoes.
5th game, Xu Xin to start, love ball.
Talking about confidence, when you're up 3-1, there's definitely going to be more confidence on your side and more concern for Ma Long right now. That ball is loaded with topspin from down low. This is the type of game that the coaches for China want to see Xu Xin playing all the time. As much topspin as he can, as aggressive as he can, whenever he can. He's got the touch and the creativity. The world knows that. And as fun as it is to watch, his percentages against his teammates, mostly Ma Long and Zhang Jike, have suffered because of that.
1-all.
But when he's going for big, playing the odds, playing aggressive near the table, making the percentage he's making now, it's going to be tough for anybody to beat him. Extra spin on that ball, dips below the racket. But here it just scraped the rubber on the forehand side of Ma Long. And the placement of the shot gets Ma Long to turn, tries to get the upper body out of the way. Could barely see any contact there at all. Touch once again, right off the bounce, quick to get in and quick to get back. people ask what you do for training, why physical fitness is needed. Clear examples right here. Fast footwork, balance, core strength. Not to mention everything that your arms are doing.
3-2.
There's a good example of some risk to finish the shot from Ma Long. We'll see it from Xu Xin's side first. First and last, just from Xu Xin's side. Still a 1-point lead for Xu Xin with his second serve. And with all that touch, he takes it a little bit late on the last touch play, leaving an opening attack for Ma Long. This is less a fitness thing and more of a hesitation thing on the side of Xu Xin. He's taking it at the baseline of the table. Still not an easy shot for Ma Long.
3-0.
Some clear frustration and disappointment out here. Xu Xin's definitely made more difficult shots throughout this match. The camera changed positions, but for a second it looked like Xu Xin was playing that off the edge.
3-5.
Again, the creativity I was talking about with Fan Zhendong earlier, something to get you back in the zone. Maharu Yoshimura does it quite often between points.
That 3-5.
Well played off the bounce. Ma Long taking away the backhand attack for a second time. Heavy spin. Relatively soft block. Changing up the pace. Five straight points for Ma Long from down 1-3. Finally, the momentum is broken. Xu Xin taking the big forehand again. Just by the way, Ma Long blew his bangs out of the way there. It's a stress relief moment. Smart play, short side of the table, right on the body. Ma Long with a big point right there. And that's a sign of confidence. A little bit of freedom out here. And that looks like the Ma Long that we've seen playing for the last year and a half. Going for shots like that in near the table whenever he can. Oh my goodness! A touch shot followed by a tomahawk chop on the forehand side for Xu Xin. The behind the back attempt as Ma Long murders the ball down the short side of the table. Look at this one more time. There's a tomahawk chop. Would have been amazing. Not far from. He's got the table open. That would have been the most amazing behind the back shot I think we've seen, especially against the speed and spin of Ma Long. But nonetheless, Ma Long takes the point for a 4-point lead. First time we've seen a little losing of foot on the Xu Xin side, slipping just a bit in the backhand corner. The flip is wide. You can see his right foot slide just a little bit. Dangerous ball. Xu Xin broke so early, he realized he left a huge gap on the forehand side, starts moving. I hope we get to see this one again. And we do. Look how much side spin he puts on it. Very short side of the table. Right near the white of the line. Similar situation, but less aggressive. Tries to float it back up, get himself back in position. 5 game points for Ma Long to take his second game this match. Gotta love that receive. coming around the ball. Starting on the inside, coming around the outside, just flicking the wrist for some side and top spin on the receive, saves a game point. And at the start of that point, the pace was just so much slower than usual. Both players playing for spin. And Xu Xin with a powerful shot to come back in. Ma Long a little bit more in the blocking game here, at least to start the point. And he can't soften up now. Again, the toughest point in any game is game point, and the toughest point in any match is match point. Ma Long needs to make this tough point here. And he does. It's a counter loop into the body on the backhand corner. 11-7, Ma Long taking his second game, and the plot thickens as we move into game 6 coming up right after this. Stay here. And as the players come back for game 6, Ma Long makes his way back, still down 2-3 against Xu Xin. Ma Long was down 1-3 in points and 1-3 in games in game 5. So early on, a little bit of a deficit to come back from. World number 1 Ma Long with the serve. The furrowed brow suggested, what was the let for? Was there a warning on the serve? Umpire sees the ball clip the top of the net, makes the call. Fools Ma Long, but leaves it just too short, stays on the own side of the table. Heavy spin, but no problem. Ma Long turns it inside out the opposite way. This is the bold, confident Ma Long. The shots that need to come out here. Xu Xin really putting spin on that ball. Look at this one bend away. Again, the less top spin on the ball, the lower percentage the shot. So it's really risky to put some side spin on it, but crucial to point like that. Arguably made the difference in winning the point for Ma Long. And it is a bit of give and take in terms of confidence. The more confident Ma Long plays, the less confident Xu Xin can play. Both aware of what's coming at them from the other side of the table. Oh no! Top of the net leaves it right near the table. Xu Xin going down hard, right on the knee too. See this again. Crowd applauding. For Xu Xin stretching it out, continuing the match. Doesn't seem to be anything serious. The hand check. Maybe a bit of rug burn as floor burn. Some of the best flooring in the world, still not good enough for some of the fastest feet in the world apparently right now. Again, it's these quick changes of mind, changes of reaction after a net ball.
4-1.
And despite the fall in the last point, Xu Xin gets his first point. Again, turns the corner. And Ma Long sees the opportunity, plays it out to the open forehand. This is the old tradition here. The way Xu Xin used to play against Ma Long and Zhang Jiko, which is why even when he was world ranked #1, he had a losing record to both, was that he was, while he was a multi-dimensional player, he wasn't comfortable with the backhand. While Xu Xin in some senses has a game to spare, I do think he's going to have to take the backhand in near the table much more. Not allow Ma Long so many openings wide to the forehand. And there's one. Pulls the same magic on Ma Long, who immediately taps his head for not thinking straight, apparently. It's a spinny shot down the line with the backhand, and then the step around forehand as there's an opening wide to the corner. This is Ma Long waiting to see if he can turn, if he's going to be able to get a forehand into play. Just thinking about the confidence issue, how Ma Long's more confident in his forehand than his backhand. He turns around and comes around the forehand side for the banana flip over the table with the backhand. Hanging on to his 4-point lead here. The touch shot stays in by Xu Xin, and it becomes a forehand hooking loop. From off the table, Xu Xin wins the point. Fan Zhendong, Fang Bo, Lin Gaoyuan all enjoying the match from the corner behind the umpires. Well, my lip reading isn't great. It looked like there was a boo in there. A little bit of negativity. Not happy about the decision. But quickly comes back for the forehand flip kill. The way things are looking right now, we might see another 7 gamers. Xu Xin hopes not. Well-placed serve from Xu Xin. Got some Korean fans here cheering Paiting. Spinny ball with the backhand. It's important because he's right-centered in the table, covering the forehand shot. Changes the pressure psychologically on Ma Long to know that he doesn't have a big open spot on the forehand side of the table. Deep on the table and low. Ma Long needs to make a quality shot there. He needs to also be aware that he might get a counter back from Xu Xin when he's in position. Spinny ball taken right back down the line. A little bit too much compensation from Xu Xin, trying to bring it out wide. A little bit of side spin on it. And that was the traditional penhold backhand. He said, why didn't you use the reverse? And the heavy underspin serve comes right back to favor Ma Long this time. 4-point lead. We've seen the comeback before from Xu Xin. That is a powerful flip from over the table. Pen-hold power right there. Saves, well, not saves, but takes a point away from the 4-point lead. In game 2, Shushin did save 2 game points, down 8-10, scored 4 in a row to win the game. Oh, the angle! Ma Long gets there and hits it back to the open forehand. When Shushin starts to smile, it's acknowledging his opponent's shot. Ma Long earning 4 game points here in game 6 to send this to a 7th and final game of the tournament. And he does. The spinny shot takes it 11 points to 6. A dominant game by Ma Long once again. And he'll be back with some confidence coming into game 7. We'll see what Shushin brings game 7 right after this. So this is interesting. It seems like, not sure if there's a timeout. They're calling the tournament referee here. I will say that watching Yang Hoon and Jung Young Shik with their dimples bobbing their heads to some hip hop here, quite enjoyable between game moment. Lee Song-soo as well, spotting some Korean stars in the crowd here. Not sure if there's an injury. Ma Long's going to be sitting down. Shushin seems to be calling for some, I guess, consulting Lu Goliang, the physio right now from the Chinese team. Ma Long deep in thought, trying to stay focused here. Have seen Shushin going to the shoulder on a few occasions. Not sure if that's what the issue is. See if I can get some word on this for you. We've seen game 7 injuries before, and sure enough, the back of the shoulder, already tape on it. It's being sprayed up. Something to numb the pain temporarily. And look at the face of Shushin, my goodness. Between adrenaline, if there's not enough adrenaline in the body to get you through it, and that can of spray, the tape, and with the support of the crowd here, Shushin's going to muscle through this. Tough to tell where exactly it was when the shoulders started causing the most issue for Shushin. Although the last 2 games, Ma Long has won 11-7 and 11-6. Point for point, Ma Long has scored 60 points so far this match, while Shushin has scored 52. So while they each have 3 games, Ma Long with the more dominant performance. Shushin with the shoe air there, trying to kick the ball up for a moment. And the encouraging applause here. Everyone wants to see the game 7. See these 2 world-class players play the absolute best they can. Same from Shushin, starting off with the serve. Quick backhand, hurt a little slip on the court, but the backhand early shot wins the point for Shushin. Again, a point is a point, whether it's an around-the-net roller, a 30-shot counter loop rally, or a missed receive on a serve. They're all worth the same on the scoreboard. That backhand is so strong. Right off the bounce, that's 2 backhands in a row. And it could be a question of shoulder. The backhand might be a little easier on the shoulder than the big stroke from the forehand. Ma Long might have to change up his game strategy if he recognizes that the backhand is the winning ingredient here for Xu Xin, the favored shot. This time goes for the forehand on the full step around from down low. Could be a question of shoulder. Takes a little bit more strength out of the arm. Big flip from Ma Long right into the backhand. Now the points are split at 2 even. Now, there was a lot of conversation about if Fan Zhendong were to play the finals, this would be a battle for world rank #1. I'd have to look at the points again. But if Xu Xin takes this, it would be his 2nd win over Ma Long this month. So it could affect the world rankings as well. Well-placed serve. Xu Xin protects the attack. Ma Long trying for that banana flip over the forehand side with the backhand. Ball left just too high, and the forehand of Xu Xin takes the point. After 2 games being held down to 7 points and 6 points respectively, Xu Xin coming out strong in the start, some shoulder spray, some tape, and big shots from both sides. Touch again, they're going to switch sides as Xu Xin gets 5 points. Again, the deciding game where one team or one player gets 5 points. They switch sides. The young, loud table tennis fan here in the back. Ding ding in the crowd as well. Huh. Wait till she realizes she's on screen, trying to find where the camera is. Can't do it, these long distance cameras. Ma Long down 2-5 here with the serve. Oh, the inside out forehand. Huge shot from Xu Xin, committed about 5 feet off the table on the backhand side. Really having to get low and move his feet for this. Watch this, touch shot out to the forehand. The flip, anticipates well. Ma Long just can't reach to cover and bring it back to the open table. Again, this time covering his face, coming across the body, inside out forehand off the side of the table. Spectacular shot by Xu Xin. Really, the top 10 for this tournament is just going to be too tough to choose. Ma Long a little off balance and touching ground breakdance style move from Xu Xin. Look at this, short stroke across the body. Commits, falls away from the table. Again, an all or nothing shot. But it was all 100% Xu Xin. And even the heavy long push, what doesn't Xu Xin have an answer to right now? Ma Long is trying everything he's got, mixing up the receives. Xu Xin just so aggressive, setting up the third balls right now, not waiting for the perfect opportunity, but making the perfect opportunity, forcing himself to stay aggressive. Up 8-2 now in Game 7. Backhand punch gets countered by Ma Long. Quality shot by Xu Xin, but a better response from Ma Long. Not on the run, covers the middle of the table. Xu Xin still going for the turnaround. Oh, just missing the reverse penhold backhand, hooking away on the forehand side. Again, you could hear the crowd gasp as one of these shots comes back from Ma Long. Look at this, inside out forehand, back to the middle of the table, and Ma Long one more time. Xu Xin shot maybe about 5 inches off the side there. Now both of these players have had outstanding comebacks in their career. Ma Long against Yuya Oshima last year at the China Open. It's down 2-6 and 4-7 before winning 7 straight points to win the match. And a flip from over the table does it once again. Xu Xin caught in an uncomfortable place in the backhand corner. Timeout for Xu Xin. I think this is a good timeout. 3 points in a row from a 6-point lead for Ma Long. Well, the lead, of course, was for Xu Xin, and the points scored Ma Long. Xu Xin started this game, as you might recall, opening up with the backhand, playing down the line. Getting some more shoulder spray here through the shirt. Liu Shiwen watching in anticipation. This might be a familiar situation to her. Hey, remember that time I was playing Ding Ning? I was up 2-0 in Game 7 and she had an injury timeout? Yeah. I really feel what Ma Long is going through right now. She might have actually just been talking about dinner, who knows. But right now, the amount of attention and focus on this match from all over. The tension is building. So back from the timeout, the Xu Xin that started Game 7 injured. Back with a little bit more spray on his timeout. Not an injury timeout.
8-5.
Already had that to start off Game 7. 3 points away from winning. 3 points away from being tied up. And a heavy side spin serve. The step around's got Ma Long blushing. Talk about mixed emotions. Tries to play it deep to the backhand. Just a little bit off the side. The motorboat out there off the back of the table. 4-point lead for Xu Xin.
5-9.
Heavy topspin shot to the middle of the table, and Xu Xin with 5 match points. Not just match points, but championship points. After an entire year of only being beaten once on the World Tour, Ma Long is looking at possibly being beaten for his 3rd time in the first 6 months of 2016. But not yet. Counter rally quality shots. Championship points saved by Ma Long. Xu Xin going big. No time to be fishing and backing off the table. Opening with the backhand, stepping around the backhand corner. What's it going to be? He's got the serve to set up the 3rd ball. 4 championship points left for Xu Xin. Flip goes out. 2 championship points saved. And no matter who you're rooting for, It's always exciting to see it go deuce in the 7th. Still a ways to go. A troubled Ma Long 3 points down. Heard Shushin Jiao, Ma Long Jiao. Chinese fans split here in the crowd. Different fans, like different personalities out here. The flip is on and the follow-up attack is good as well. Yes, I know, heartache in the crowd. This is 3 championship points in a row saved by Ma Long, and now he's got the serves on his racket. If he can take this next point, he'll have a second serve to tie it up at deuce in the 7th. And Xu Xin, if this happens, could get a taste of what Jun Mizutani felt at the Kuwait Open earlier this year.
8-10.
And really just a taste. Fast serve, it comes back, a solid receive, but a better third ball, and Ma Long, unbelievable. This right here, experience, determination, fearlessness. Ma Long still has work cut out for him, but saves 4 championship points. What's it going to be, Xu Xin? Goes for it, nail in the coffin, hands in the air. Xu Xin, full wrist, puts it all out on the table, runs around the forehand side of the table for a backhand shot that will not be forgotten anytime soon by neither player, fans around the world, and a full stadium here in Incheon. What a performance. Xu Xin, 2 weeks in a row, takes down the dictator, dictates how it goes against the dragon, and Xu Xin, look at the score here, 11-9 in the 7th, and what a day for table tennis, what a day for Xu Xin, and what a day for the world of spectators watching this live. Standing ovation from the crowd. My goodness, make sure that you get your ticket when the World Tour comes to your part of town, because it's just getting stronger and stronger. This is the last tournament before the Olympic Games, and what a tournament it has been. A solid effort from Ma Long, but a stronger effort and a more solid result from the Cloud Walker, who will be walking himself to the top of the podium just later as we get to the awards ceremony. Enjoy the highlights, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
시상식을 준비하며